Greetings. Today, I'm going to answer a couple questions. I've been asked a couple times what editing software I use, so I'm going to show you a little bit about that, and then I'm going to show you about the operating system I use. So, to start, I use this program called KDEN Live. It is free software that is, well, it's free on Ubuntu and Debian-based operating systems, which Debian is a Linux operating system. You can look into that if you want. Thing that I like about this program, one, it is free, and it comes with all sorts of features. You can use just about any format you want to use. You can export into almost any format you want to. Plus it has all these handy tools like, for your alpha manipulation. You got rotoscoping and green screening. You can also, do a bunch of different graphics, like, slow it down, speed it up, make it look like you're tripping on shrooms or something with this vertigo thing. Just basically, tons of features, all for free. The point of this video isn't to talk about KDEN Live just yet. It is going to be a tutorial, a very brief one, on how to download and install Ubuntu. So the thing I like about Linux kernel-based operating systems is that they are free in both senses of the word. One, doesn't cost you any money. You can just download it. You don't need your parents' credit card or anything like that. You don't have to go to Best Buy and buy a $110 disc. You might be wondering, if it's free, what's wrong with it? Windows is so good, and you get what you pay for. But that's not true. Linux is, in a lot of people's minds, far superior. It's just that there's no support for games and stuff like that. For a lot of other things, it is much better. So, on with it. So, in order to download it, you just go to whatever your browser is. I'm using Firefox at the moment on my Ubuntu computer. Go to ubuntu.com, Ubuntu. Go right there where it says download. Click on that. You're still with me, right? After you go to download, click on Ubuntu Desktop. Right there. You should see that right there. Then click download. Simple as that. System requirements are very minimal. You can use an old crappy computer from like 10 years ago. All of my computers, other than this desktop that I do most of my video editing on, they're all from, 2007, 2008, and they run swimmingly. Old Windows 7, Windows Vista computers. You can repurpose them and they'll run like they were brand new. Probably better than they did when they were brand new. So, system requirements for Ubuntu 16.04. This is the newest release that just got released a couple weeks ago. 2 GHz core processor. A lot of phones have better than that, so you're more than likely good there. Unless you got an IBM ThinkPad from like 1995, but yeah, I assume you don't. 2 gigs of memory. Just about every computer's got that. RAM, 2 gigs of system memory, so RAM. 25 gigs of hard drive space, and a USB port or a CD drive. So, now I will show you. I can't show you the imaging, like how to image it, because I don't have Windows. I already have a bunch of Linux-based operating systems, and if you already have those, you already know how to install them, I assume, so we're just going to skip past that. So, I have right here a handy-dandy flash drive that has Ubuntu imaged to it already. You then take your imaged flash drive or your CD and insert it into the proper port. You then press the power button on your computer, which is now starting up. Press F12 or F2 depending on the computer to get to the boot menu. Not all of them look like this. Some of them you have to go into some certain configurations and change the boot order. If you have that issue, you can just look it up. Someone's already answered your question a million times over on the internet. So, I'm going to select USB and enter. So it gives you the option to try it out. You can try Ubuntu without installing it on your computer. See if you like it. If you don't use it. I'm going to install on this computer. Click install. To make it simple, I'm going to install third-party software for the graphics, Wi-Fi, hardware, and stuff. You can go back and remove those later on if you want to. But to make it easier, especially with a laptop, I would recommend doing that. Click continue. Next, it gives you the options to install alongside the previous operating system or erase the whole disk and install Ubuntu, which is what I'm going to do. And then you can encrypt the new Ubuntu for security, which is what I'm going to use. And I'm not going to partition the drive for anything else, so install now. That's where you choose your security key. I'm not going to show you that. You can, make up your own. Now that you've chosen your security key, click install now. So now it's going to, ask you if you want to make the changes to the way it is partitioned and stuff. Yes, continue. Select your region. I'm not in New York, and I'm not in Los Angeles, but it's close enough. I'm in that time zone. Click continue. Select your language. I speak English if you couldn't tell by watching this video already, so there you go. Then you choose your name, your computer's name, choose your username and passwords. I'm also not going to show you that, so you get back to that. After you've clicked continue on that, it is going to bring you to this screen. It's just going to say that it's installing all the stuff. It's probably going to take a while, so I'm probably not going to show you all of that, so we'll get back to it in a minute. So, here we are, less than 20 minutes later. Installation is complete. You need to restart the computer in order to use the new installation. So, now you enter your password. Obviously not going to show you that. Set up successfully. OS starting it. Here you are. Computer starting up. First login. There you have it. Brand new computer. It's filled with, all sorts of features and whatnot. So, once you have logged into your wireless connection, you go to Ubuntu software, go to updates, click that, and update your operating system. There shouldn't be too many updates since it is now, just got released like a week ago. So, there you have it. Hopefully this wasn't too brief of a tutorial for you to not be able to figure out how to do this had you wanted to. And hopefully it wasn't too lengthy of a tutorial where you lost your attention span. So, check it out. You can try it out without installing it, or you can install it. So, give it a whirl, see if you like it. Then you won't have to buy all this video editing software, all that crap, unless you really need to. So, if you're like, little kid that has a crappy laptop lying around, doesn't have good editing software, you want to constantly ask Brett Novak or Black Ninja, what editing software do you use? They'll use Adobe Premiere or Sony Vegas, which, costs money in most cases. I, however, am a cheapo. I don't want to buy that software. Plus, they all kind of spy on you and all that stuff, which I just spied on myself for you guys to be able to see what I use. So, there you have it. try Ubuntu out, try KDE and Live. I would actually recommend Debian, but for video editing, Ubuntu is much better. So, hope you enjoyed, and ride the big one.